Okay, let's do problem 452, minimum number of arrows to burst balloons. So here we're given integer array of an array points, and each array has x start and x end, which are just simply the start and end point of a balloon. The question itself seems pretty difficult, but when we understand the question, it becomes pretty easy question. So in example 1, so this is the example 1 we have the 4 balloons, and if you just put them on the number line, we have balloon from 10 to 16, 2 to 8, and then 1 to 6, and then 7 to 12. Just by looking at the diagram, we do know that the minimum number of arrows to burst all the balloons will be 2. And this statement here, what it means is if the balloon ends in 7 and then the other balloon ends in 7, and if we shoot the arrow at 7, it's going to burst 2 balloons. Okay, and because to find the minimum number of arrows, we have to find out if there are any overlapping balloons. So it's another interval question, and the question is, what's the logic to find the overlapping balloons? To do that, we're going to use the example we have below. It's just any random number I came up with. So we have 1, 6, 3, 5, 7, 10. And to find out the overlapping balloons, we need to sort these points. So, but the question is, are we going to sort based on the start points, or are we going to sort based on the end points? The answer is we're going to sort based on the end points. The reason is it's very easy for us to work out the overlapping balloons if we put it this way. So let's put them on number line. So we have 3 to 5, and then 1 to 6, and then 7 to 10. Right, so we do need a for loop, obviously, to go through each of the points. And okay, let's just write down. Okay, so the first step is sort the points, and then before we start, we do know that we need at least one arrow to solve this question. So I'm gonna say int arrow equals 1, and I'm going to say we're going to shoot the arrow at the end point of the first balloon. So we do need another variable called int last end, and then it's going to be 5. And then our for loop, we start from int I equals 1 all the way to point's length. So by putting these 3 lines, we're kind of essentially saying that we already used one arrow to burst the first balloon. But if we shoot the arrow here, we can see that this one is overlapping. But how do we know if it's overlapping? Because we put them based on their endpoints, we do know that the balloon will either end here, 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 all the way to the end. But if the start point of the next one, so if the start point of this one is less than the end point of the first arrow, it basically means that it can stretch all the way to here. It means it's overlapping, right? But if the start point is greater than the last end, it means it's not overlapping. And then if it's not overlapping, we can just set the non-overlapping one as the last end, and increase the arrow count. It's actually much easier, and it's a very short question if we write down the encode. So we essentially need to sort the arrow, sort the points, and it's going to be based on the the last value, so it will be A1 and B1, and then we do need at least one arrow, and the last endpoint will be the first balloon's last point, which will be points the first balloon's last point. And then we're going to iterate through from the second balloon. Okay, and then we have to work out if the second balloon is overlapping. So to do that, if points, what's the second balloon? So the second balloon in this case will be I, and then we're interested in the first point, which is 0. If this is greater than the last point, which is it's not overlapping, if it's not overlapping, we increase our number of arrows, and then we set the last end to points I1, like that, and then we just simply return number of arrows. So let's go through our example one more time. So last arrow is 1, and then the arrows is 1, the last end is 5. Let's have a look at the condition. So that will be points 1, 0, so it will be 1. 1 is less than the last end, so it skips the if statement, and then we go to the next one, which is 7 and 10. So 7 is greater than the last end, so we increase the arrow to 2, and the last end becomes 10, and that's end of the for loop, so we just need to return 2 arrows. So let's run the test. Let's submit. Okay, it beats 84%, but again, depends on the internet speed. When I run it, it beats 97%. So I'm gonna give it one more time. Still the same, but yeah, I'm happy with the result. So that's it.